Man walks into a pet store, sees a sign, talking parrot, guaranteed, buys it. Comes back next week and says, doesn't talk. Store owner says, what? It didn't climb the ladder and start talking? Guy says, what ladder? Store owner says, oh, sorry, he needs the ladder. $10, another purchase, another week, no talking, back to the store, same complaint. Store owner, what? He didn't climb the ladder and look in the mirror and talk? What mirror? Oh, sorry, another purchase. Third week comes, the guy comes back to the store and the owner says, is he talking yet? Guy says, the parrot is dead. But before he died, he spoke. And the store owner says, what did he say? He said, don't they sell any bird feed at that store?
He'll be appearing at the Comedy Cellar all week. Let's get after it. All right, I love the media. I mean, I love the media. Check out these old headlines. Trump promises 4% growth. Economists say, no way. Or this one. If Trump thinks he can get more than 3% economic growth, he's dreaming. And last but not least, hello, Larry.
If you use the standard of what the administration has held out the hope for, 3 to 4% growth, there is nothing in any data suggesting that we're moving towards that 3 to 4% growth standard.
Oh, yeah? Well, eat this, Larry.
I am thrilled to announce that in the second quarter of this year, the United States economy grew at the amazing rate of 4.1%.
They like it. So, who could have predicted that?
I believe it's time to establish a national goal of reaching 4% economic growth. My great economists don't want me to say this, but I think we can do better than that.
The optimist. I wish I could find the right sentiment to express how I feel. I wish I could remember what I was laughing at. But, so as Trump proves the naysayers wrong, what are the naysayers clinging to? A little piece of leaked audio.
This is the kind of the ugly, sordid stuff that happens behind the scenes at a campaign. Well, at least at this Trump campaign that we're now hearing about.
Well, this tape does show how the sausage is made, and you
really
never
does,
want to know how the sausage is made.
I'm hearing two criminal co-conspirators conspiring on making a payment.
The President of the United States tried to tell you what you're seeing and what you're reading is not happening. Don't believe what you see with your own ears.
Don't believe what you see with your own ears. That's like a fortune cookie that makes no sense. In other words, it's a fortune cookie. Dumb question. Did anyone die from this secret conversation? Was anyone physically hurt? Does anyone care? Which leads me to a new segment.
Does anyone care? With Greg Gutfeld.
All right, tonight's episode, a slimy lawyer secretly tapes his client referring to hush money paid to a centerfold who had consensual relations with a rich dude who later became our president. I know what you're thinking. Where is the honor among playmates? Granted, it's not the sort of deal most of us will make in our lives, but Trump paying a centerfold to keep quiet, I believe that's called Tuesday. Petty cash for playmates to Trump, that's his swear jar. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there are more. You're 73, a billionaire, thrice married, living in Manhattan, and you don't have to share your apartment. You're hanging around models. If you only slept with Stormy Daniels and this other playmate, you might be gay. And if he is, I still don't care. You know what I care about? I care about those new Atkins shakes. I love them. They're delicious. ZzzQuil. I wonder sometimes if I love that too much. And world peace. What's not to love? Those things matter to me. Trump's love life, that's not on my list. But now I realized that it matters. For example, right now in North Korea, they're dismantling rocket sites. Why? Obviously because Trump may have slept around. The Europeans just stopped scamming us with tariffs. But according to CNN, before that, Trump may have slept around. The GDP for this quarter just hit 4.1%, and to celebrate, U.S. Steel just reopened a plant in Illinois. But according to sources before that happened, Trump slept around. We scrapped 3,000 useless regulations. We created an economic boom, but Trump slept around. So wait a second. I sense a trend here. What experts call a correlation. Here are all these amazing achievements, and right before them, Trump had sexual relations with women. Could it be that all of this good news is due to that? I know correlation isn't causation, but maybe his sex life has made us all much better off. I do feel bad for the media. They invest so much time in these scandals. Why? Because Democrats are hopeless at understanding sex. Raising income taxes is their pillow talk. Redistribution is their foreplay. That's why they're really good at screwing people. Which is why... Thank you very much. Which is why all this good news, the Dems would rather get drunk on tawdry tales. And they think you should too because, oh my God, he lied.
Oh, come on. Whether the payment happened or not, whether the payment happened or not, what we know is that he lied.
Shows Trump lying once again. What else is new there?
The White House lied about it. When this first came out, Hope Hicks said that Donald Trump knew nothing about this payment.
He's actually saying the president had no knowledge. You know, and Giuliani knows, that is a flat-out lie. He had an affair with her.
Oh, my God, he lied. He lied about an affair. How is this surprising? Accusing a rich old New Yorker of lying about an affair is like accusing Michael Moore of splitting his pants. It's to be expected, and I hate to tell you, this is why lying was invented. Do you remember the first lie? The Garden of Eden, that snake? Oh, no, no, he's just a friend. As long as there's sex, there will be lies, and as long as there are lies, there will be journalism and politics. I don't condone it, but when there's so much good stuff happening in this world, I just don't care. All right. Let's welcome tonight's guests. Like a man who steals your organs to sell on the black market, he'll keep you in stitches. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie Lissow. He produces more drama than My Pet Llama. He stars in the new movie Gosnell out this fall. Actor Nick Searcy. Social interaction gives her allergic reactions. National Review reporter Katherine Timpf. And the Jumbotron is his iPhone. Former WWE superstar and my massive sidekick, Tyrus.
I'm going to get him.
You're going to get me.
Always happy.
Oh, yeah. I'm scared. I'm shaking in my little boots.
Okay.
Jamie, how you doing? What are your thoughts on this week so far? Any insight?
Man, I wouldn't have believed that story if I hadn't heard it with my own eyes. Just unbelievable. And I feel like that parrot joke, that was brutal, right? The parrot was not only missing a mirror and a ladder, he was missing a punchline and timing. But don't you think, like Stormy Daniels, it's just weird that it's literally like they used one of those porn star name generators to come up. It's like, oh, what's your favorite weather and your favorite drink? Stormy Daniels.
Yes.
Like mine would be Rainy Martini. Yours might be Sunshine Sauvignon.
Oh, I think that was an insult, I believe.
Was it?
Yes, I believe.
Didn't mean it to be.
All right, Nick. What do you make of the good news and the scandals? Pick one, whatever you want.
Well, the scandals, it reminds me of the movie I directed, Gosnell, which is coming out October 12th. Everybody should go see it.
Nice plug. Sneaking it in there.
Is that too obvious?
Yes.
My movie has lawyers in it. That's why it reminded me of that. But, Yeah, the thing about the lawyers is, like, well, the taping thing, the tape of Trump talking to his lawyer, is that like common practice? Do lawyers tape their clients? And if so, why?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I don't get.
Yeah, God knows. And it's so funny that, like, Trump's lawyer, who's a fixer, hires Hillary's lawyer, who's a fixer, Lanny Davis, which would be like Lanny Davis hiring Michael Cohen. They're like fixers hiring fixers. I need a fixer.
No.
What are you doing later?
Oh, well, I thought you'd have an idea.
Kat, thoughts?
I can't even begin to tell you just how little I care who anyone has sex with. I don't care. And I think that everyone in the media, they really think that if they can prove that Donald Trump had sex with these women and lied about it, that people who support Trump are going to suddenly stop supporting him.
Exactly.
But I think that people care more about things like the economy, and they care more about them having more money in their pockets. It's not that they don't believe it. It's not that they're stupid. It's that it just doesn't really matter. You know how much I've been affected by who Donald Trump has had sex with? Not at all.
Really?
Yeah. Like, my day has been pretty much the same as it would have been if he wouldn't have had sex with all those people. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's actually the achievements that affect your life, not what he's been doing on his private time elsewhere. Tyrus, bring it home. Thoughts, wisdom?
Well, as far as lying, I'm not really going to judge the president on if he's lying or not, because I've been known to lie about whether I take the trash out or not. So, what do you guys call it? White lies?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like my thing. So, I just feel like, we talked about this before, they love the scary movie.
Yeah.
And it's coming to theaters. It just never comes to theaters. Even recording somebody is shameful. And Cohen, I mean, damn, bro. Like, can't get much lower than just being a rat and trying to set up someone who takes care of you and your family. But what kills me is that he is setting somebody up while he's supposed to be a fixer. He's he's one of the worst people in the world. If you think about somebody that's so rotten that you would trust him with your secrets, and he records them, and then when he gets in trouble, he tries to use them against you. And then I guess he was sitting on the phone while he was recording. So you couldn't even really make out what he's saying. They had to get like an ophthalmologist and a rocket surgeon to figure out whether he said cash or check. Like, it's literally the worst. Like, he's a really bad blackmailer.
Yes.
And then he finds out that it's a disbarable offense to record a client. It's actually against the law. So he broke a law there. Then he leaked information. I know that who happened and what, thinking the prosecution was going to help him. They're like, no, we're not going to help you at all. You can't corroborate anything because you're a proven liar. Like, he literally had the worst week that a villain. Usually villains have bad weeks at the end of the movie. This dude started out with, like, here's my plan, and, like, he got arrested. Like, literally, he's the worst. This is the worst villain I've ever seen. Like, you would think he'd be better.
Yeah, I got to close it out, but I think what drives me nuts is when you watch the other networks, to Kat's point, they're ignoring what matters. In their snow globe, the only thing that matters, porn stars, playmates, Cohen, and tape. That's in their snow globe. And when you're in a snow globe, you don't know you're in one. Right? So you just think this is your world. Meanwhile, everybody else in the world is enjoying, basically their life is getting marginally better every day. But they don't know that in CNN because they're too busy chasing tail or tails, tawdry tails. All right, coming up, Democratic candidates are out of step with the mainstream. In other news, chocolate is delicious. Like a drunk octopus trying to line dance at his sister's wedding, the Dems are out of step. What an intro. But like you didn't know that already. According to a new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, 56% say today's Democratic candidates are out of touch with the mainstream. That's a spike from 2 years ago when the number was only 42%. And that's when Bernie Sanders was all the rage. And I looked great with a man bun. I was one of the first. Bernie sold a lot of young voters on democratic socialism and got progressives to take a hard left turn. But clearly this poll shows they aren't progressive enough.
Tired of the party that brought you FDR's New Deal? Is LBJ's Great Society not enough? Then you'll love Super Turbo Hyper Progressivism. It's the first system where the government pays for everything. Like universal healthcare for your therapy llama, as long as it's a gender-neutral therapy llama. Plus, guaranteed basic income for the dead. Because you never know what will reanimate you in the future. And the national anthem will be replaced by this. We've also got totally awesome social policies, like sanctuary cities for aliens from the Andromeda Galaxy. And public bathrooms will all be moved out into the open. Plus, we're also banning ice and ice cubes and the ice capades, even vanilla ice. But the best part about Super Turbo Hyper Progressivism, all wars will be fought with finger guns. And if that doesn't work, we'll hug the enemy to death. So get ready for Super Turbo Hyper Progressivism. And if you don't agree with us, you're probably a racist who hates the planet.
You do. Kat, the polls say that the Democrats are out of step, but they also say the Republicans are out of step. You're a libertarian. Are the libertarians out of step?
Yeah, nobody really likes us. We don't even really like ourselves.
That is true.
Yeah, but that's okay. I feel like it shouldn't be a surprise that the Democrats are out of step, because I feel like when you talk to most Americans, they don't say that what they want to do is have to wait in line for toilet paper.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that this whole democratic socialist thing isn't really catching on. People want capitalism, where you can get toilet paper via Amazon Prime without getting up off your couch. And you can get as much of it as you want. You can get like 47 12-packs and build a fort for you and your cat to sit in your living room. If somebody wanted to do that. Yes. I'm almost 30, so that would definitely not be appropriate.
Yeah, it would be.
Do that with my spare time. But, you know, it's not like it always comes down to toilet paper, but sometimes it does.
It does. If I could have $1 for every time it does. Nick, the big Democratic, the new Obama is Alexandria Ocasio, and she's like a socialist. What do you make of her?
It's like she's never read a newspaper or a book in her life. I mean, you know, this young lady, it's like, I can't imagine where she gets her information from, and I'm beginning to think that she's actually a Republican plant. That, like, the Republicans have placed her there to make the Democrats look incredibly stupid.
All right, Tyrus, will the Democratic Party pay attention to these polls and try to fix themselves?
I can't pay attention to them. There's just too many rules. I don't like a lot of rules. Like when I buy my kids a present, if the instructions are this thick, we're winging it.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of rules. And the new democratic world order, there's like 37 genders. How the hell am I going to even say hello to somebody without being afraid of a lawsuit? There's all kinds of like gimme stuff, and I don't want to give nobody jack. I want to get mines, keep mines, and you get yours, and we'll be fine. But there's just a lot. There's too many rules to be, and they don't even know. And when they talk, if you ever had a conversation with a super left person, they talk in like 8th person. So I don't even know who I'm dealing with. Because everything's a world cause. I'm like, yo, I just want a coffee. I'm sorry I came in here. I won't do it again. But if me drinking this is going to kill macaws in the Amazon, I'll stop.
That, you know, your point about your first point, which I've already forgotten. No, it's the fact that there are rules. Liberals were supposed to be liberal.
Yeah.
Liberal. Now they have more rules, and conservatives are the ones who don't want rules. The conservatives are like the free, you know, they're for free everything in terms of thought.
You have to catch yourself to greet a stranger.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know something about them,
you're screwed.
Don't find out the hard way by asking.
I felt like this was one of those articles where they didn't need to do the poll.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, they're out of step. We're like, yeah, we knew it ahead of time. You could have saved money. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like any candidate is talking about like what I'm worried about. You know, like, how do I beat my kid at Fortnite?
Glad you said Fortnite. instead of night.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, if you're taking a
I have
pause
the same
there.
problem. Dragon Ball Z, like I have to ground him to beat him mid-game.
Nobody cares about what I'm worried about.
What else are you worried about?
I'm worried about health. I worry about health care. My daughter told me the other day, I said, what do you want to do tonight? She goes, I want to do a puzzle. So I had her go to healthcare.gov.
Should we end on that note, or do you have a third joke?
I don't think I do.
All right, well, that was very funny. Okay, I think the Democratic Party needs an intervention. That's what they need. You know, they need to sit down the leaders and go, socialism is ruining your life. Just like, you know, in interventions with drugs, they got to sit down and go, you've been doing a lot of socialism, and you're losing your friends, and you're running out of money. We're here to help you. We're going to fly you to a capitalism center and teach you how to make money. That would be the answer. Still to come. Nikki Haley has some great advice for conservative teens. So do I. Listen to Nikki Haley. You thought I was going to say something else? Now, if I were Nikki Haley, and who says I'm not, I'd ask high school kids to raise your hand if you've ever posted anything online to quote, unquote, own the libs.
Raise your hand if you've ever posted anything online to quote unquote own the libs. I know it's fun and that it can feel good, but step back and think about what you're accomplishing when you do this. Are you persuading anyone?
She said that to students, but adults can learn from this too. I'll admit, it is fun to troll the other side, and they make it so easy sometimes.
Don't believe what you see with your own ears.
Oh, I'm going to play that forever. But if you go online now, there are two sides clashing over everything. It's vicious, and to Haley's point, no one's persuading anyone. Maybe they don't want to. And God forbid you try to cross the aisle with an olive branch. You'll get shunned by your own, like actor Mark Duplass, who faced the wrath of the online mob on his side because he had the nerve to compliment Ben Shapiro on Twitter. So then Duplass had to apologize for being nice. What a wuss. Look, neither side is going to win the great Twitter war. It's mutually assured destruction. So is that good or bad, or is it both? I don't know. But what I do know, I prefer to dance in front of Gus the dog.
Gangnam Style. Boom, da 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 da, boom, ba da da, boom, da 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 da.
The greatest dog ever. He knows a bad dancer when he sees one. All right, Nick, your Twitter feed is rambunctious, combative. Would you join a group of people that says, I'm disarming, I'm no longer going to be so negative on Twitter?
Absolutely not. I don't think Nikki Haley has seen my Twitter feed. She wouldn't have said that.
Yes.
You know, and she says that it's, you know, I know it feels good and it's fun, but what are you accomplishing? What's wrong with feeling good? Having fun. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to persuade anybody on Twitter. I just sort of fight with people who kind of fight with me. And the point is not, I don't think I'm going to persuade them. I want to ridicule them and have other people see how stupid they look.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It's like you aren't trying to persuade the person you're insulting. No. You're trying to give some kind of energy to the other people that almost teach them how to do what you're doing, except it might be considered mean. God, what am I turning into?
Yes.
I used to be so mean, Tyrus. What's happening?
I don't really think about you that much, Greg, to be honest with you. But, I'm assuming whenever, you know what it is, we have the lead right now.
Yeah.
Whenever you're winning, it's fun to poke fun at the other side, and you know, it's great. But when you're losing, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's just, it goes back and forth. But I had a flashback when Miss Haley was talking. I literally thought that was my nurse at school in the 7th grade when I had an embarrassing moment where I had my first, you know, at school.
I don't want to know.
Like, and I was like, oh no, you know, and she was like, you know, it's fun and it feels good, but you don't think about those things at school.
Oh, I see what you mean. Took me a while to figure out what he was talking about.
That calm, cooling voice, it took me back to that nurse.
No, she did.
We don't have them in schools anymore, but you used to be able to go to the nurse and tell her stuff, and she'd make you feel better, and you weren't such a, like, if your mom saw you're a dirty little boy, and why did she have you? But the nurse is going to tell you, it's okay.
Yes.
It feels right.
All right, we're going to move on from this discussion.
You know,
hey,
Jamie?
When Tyrus was talking just now, there were 4 different moments where I felt like I knew what he was talking about. And then he would say something else like, I still don't know what he's talking about.
Let's try to stay on topic about civility online.
Thank you.
All right? Civility online. Is it worth being the first person to disarm?
I don't like some of the hate. I think it's true though that you don't have to always be leading.
Yeah.
You can be just having fun. And what a great point that you could be rallying troops. You're not trying to convince the exact person you're talking to. But I do get tired of the hate sometimes. And I don't know if you know, there's this I guess it's called an add-on for Google Chrome.
Yeah.
And when you get on there, if there's too much hate, you could flip it on, and it turns off like all politics or whatever. If you want like a break. And so I turned mine on the other day, and there was just one puppy video left.
Oh, really?
So I flipped it back.
And it was an alt-right puppy.
It was an alt-right puppy.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, Kat, would you ever? You're on Twitter an awful lot. You're not very mean on it, though.
No, I try to be nice.
Yes.
I think that she's probably right, but I do understand that it can be very, very tempting sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll read an article that says yoga is cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
And then I'll read one that says certain Halloween costumes are cultural appropriation.
Mm-hmm.
I would be lying if I said the first thought that come to mind was not to post a video of myself doing yoga in a Pocahontas costume. But I wouldn't really be changing hearts and minds that way. And if I really wanted to try to change hearts and minds, you have to be respectful.
Mm-hmm. I have two semi-serious comments on this. One, this kind of social media behavior might be necessary because we're not allowing this kind of behavior anymore in the real world. We're not having any community. We're not getting together. Churches are under attack. Sororities are being gender neutral. Teams are breaking up. So maybe Twitter's the only place where you can insult each other and goad each other and make jokes, because you can't do that anywhere else. But having said that, now people are collecting scalps on Twitter. So you can't make jokes anymore because you could be the next one.
You could lose your job.
You could lose your job.
Well, the director at Disney.
Yeah.
The job is gone because of some joke he made.
Yeah.
Like, it could happen to you.
No. My Twitter feed, don't even look at it. All right. Coming up, would you want to attend your own funeral? Science says it could be possible. By the way, science is what I call my third nipple. We will watch our bodies die through a robot's eye. According to futurist Dr. Ian Pearson, humans may be attending their own funerals by the year 2050 by merging their minds with machines just before death, as seen in this whatever that thing is. Pearson lays out the scenario where the mind doesn't need a physical body to exist. You connect to an android to use as your body from now on, attend your funeral, and then carry on as before, still you, just with a younger, highly upgraded body. I wouldn't need that. And because your brain would essentially live in the cloud, you could switch bodies as often as you like. Adds Pearson, you're sort of immortal, okay. From where we went to Mike, the immortal goat, for comment.
Don't jump, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. What is he doing? Oh! 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 He jumped! He jumped! Dude! Kill it, it's alive.
Of course he's alive. He's Mike, the immortal goat. Get with the program. Tyrus, is this realistic, and would you do it?
No, I would not do it. I would go to my funeral and then sit in the corner and listen to everybody talk about me. My funeral's not going to be pleasant. There's going to be a lot of people not on things. They thought they were on things. Plus, my note before I go is going to be real. So when people start turning around at the computer laughing in the back and it's me, I mean, What's wrong with dying? I just don't get it. I can't wait. I'm waiting for my testosterone to go away. And when your time comes, man, just let it go. You're going to be a robot?
Why be greedy is what you're saying. Why be greedy
Just
with
let
life?
it go.
Yeah, just let it go.
You're going to be immortal.
Yeah.
So then it'll go, then I guess you'll have your dream because you'll be able to get in with your AI buddies and start because after a while the robot guys are going to be jealous of the flesh guys.
Yeah.
So that's how we're going to cure racism, is we're going to have robots attacking anybody with meat.
Yeah, it's true. It's going to be meats for...
No, this is phenomenal. This is great. We did it. We did it.
It's going to be meat and metal.
Yeah.
That's going to be the war. And because I am the Benedict Arnold for metal, I would be the king of the metal because I don't like meat. Kat, I think this is going to ruin funerals.
I think that it's a lot of science in trouble. It's much simpler than that.
What?
All you need to do is just throw yourself a funeral while you are still alive.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
That's a great idea for a company.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing that in 3 months for my 30th birthday party. I am throwing myself a funeral. This is not a joke. I'm coming in a hearse, in a casket, and instead of incense, I'm going to have a processional of people vaping as I enter. And it's going to be a big party. Not everyone's invited, but you're all invited to like all the photos when you see that I am not joking.
I have a feeling you will be doing this. All right, Nick, I think this is going to... What if you're an annoying, unlikable person and people are relieved that you're dead? And so now, oh, great, I got to deal with Brian Kilmeade because his head's in a nutrient vat.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me this?
I don't know.
You know, I think this would be okay. I kind of would like to be at my own funeral just to hear what people say about me.
Yeah.
But I think it would work better if I could get that thing started now.
Yeah.
Like if I could get the robot that's me started up now, I could get a lot more done.
Yeah, that's true.
I could direct another movie like my movie Gosnell, which is coming out October 12th.
Great movie. It's a great movie.
Was that too obvious?
No, it wasn't. It was a tough movie to make. I'll say that. So you should, wherever it is, you should find it. Jamie, would you do this?
I have a stupid question, Greg, and I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not as smart as anybody on this panel. What if I'm at the funeral?
Yeah.
Why don't we just not have a funeral? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Jamie's gone. They're like, no, he's not. He's over there. And like, why are we wasting all this money? And did I ever tell you my idea to get a laugh? This is not a joke at all. To get a laugh at my funeral, I want to have an open casket, but when you come up, my legs are showing. Wouldn't that be funny if you'd be laughing? Like, why are they laughing? He's dead.
That's pretty funny.
And I just think in general, wouldn't that be kind of fun? I really want to. Will you write that down if no?
Yes, I'll write it down. And if something happens to you, I go. He wants an open casket, but for an open leg casket.
Open leg casket.
And don't you think in general with robots, we have to be so careful to be building things that we cannot compete with.
No, it's true.
You know, and like, cause I had this ex-girlfriend once. I bought her this little electronic toy. I never saw her again.
And on that note, still to come, it's the most interesting interview you will ever see. I'm serious. You don't want to miss this. Stick around. You may have heard that my new book is coming out this Tuesday. Sadly, I didn't get invited on The View to talk about it. Would have helped. Would have helped. But I did get invited on a much better show. I can honestly say it may be my favorite interview ever. They even gave me permission to run the full clip here on my very own show. Take a look. Well, thank you for having me. I've always been a fan of your investigative work, so it's a pleasure to be here. Well, I really did this for the fans. Everywhere I go, people ask me, where can they read the monologues from the show? Is there one place where they can go and get them? So I decided, why not get the very best monologues and put them in the book? You know what I thought? I figured, wouldn't it be different to take a book of your writing and criticize it? And take it apart and go after the things that you got wrong, because no one's ever done that. So I took my monologues, and then if you look into the book, you'll see, take a look, that I have commentary with my actual monologues, and I'm fairly blunt about the things I got wrong. Well, you know what? The one thing I noticed is that I tend to rely on certain cliches. Like if I'm writing about a liberal, I will often I'll say that they've got a nose ring or they've got a henna tattoo. And it's just like, I find that I fall into stereotypes over time, which is intellectually lazy. So I try to call myself on that wherever I go. Also, I think I was a little too mean on Bernie Sanders. I should have been nicer. I think that my favorite topic is always going to be Hollywood because it's so easy. Something is always going on in that place that is worthy of ridicule. Every day there's an actor or an actress saying something stupid, and I wake up every morning to write about it. It makes my job so easy. It does. Well, generally, you know, the producer will send me some ideas, and that's actually a great question, Dolphin. And what I do is I just pick the ones that are most exciting to me, and then I start writing. I don't like to think about it too much because if you think about it, you start to lose the steam. You want to just dive right in, and then before you know it, you come up with your own point of view. It's really a lot of fun. I think you should try it. Well, I learned that there are a lot of interesting topics that culminated in Trump's presidency. If you look at the things that I covered, law and order, identity politics, terrorism, these were all the things that Donald Trump kind of hit on. So I'm convinced that he created his entire political plank on my monologues, or off my monologues. Yes. I think the shorter, the better, much like me. If you can't, you got to, if you can make it under 80 seconds, that's perfect. It should be sharp, original, and funny. It doesn't have to be funny off the bat. You write it, and then you add the jokes later. But the whole key is to make it short, clear, concise, and unexpected and surprising, much like the work you do, Dolphin. Thanks again to Dolphin Stevens and Ted Froggerson. Don't forget, next weekend is the start of my book tour. I'll be in Fort Worth and Dallas on Saturday, then the Woodlands, Texas on Sunday, August 5th. More dates coming soon. Go to ggutfeld.com for the latest tour information. Don't go anywhere. Final thoughts next.
Final thoughts. It's the last thought. That's why it's called the final thoughts, okay?
Jamie, where are you going to be?
I actually am going to be on Netflix. If you guys have Netflix, you can check out season 2 of my TV show with Rob Schneider. It's called Real Rob. It's on Netflix right now.
It's very, very funny. I enjoy it immensely, and I mean that, even though I haven't seen it. No, I'm kidding. I watch it all the time. Nick, you got a movie.
Gosnell opens October 12th in 750 theaters nationwide, and here's a clip.
A lot of the employees at that clinic have been arrested on drug trafficking charges. Why haven't you?
Objection.
Isn't it true that you made a deal with the DA to avoid prosecution?
Objection.
Given your personal animosity for Dr. Gosnell, why should we believe anything you have to say?
Wow, that's like really intense.
I love that guy. He's a great actor.
He is a great actor. A tremendous movie. All right. Thank you, Jamie, Nick, Katherine, Tyrus, Dolphin Stevens, Ted Tyrus, studio audience.